Welcome back to another virtual episode of Founder Fumbles, where we talk about real life entrepreneur struggles and comeback strategies. I'm your host, Damari Taplin, and today we are joined by the founder and CEO of Novamultiverse. She's a business consultant, serial entrepreneur, published model and author, real estate investor, magazine publisher, app developer, and she is the host of Project Slay Radio. Ladies and gents, we have Crystal B.
Hi, everyone. How are you?
Yeah, what's up, Crystal? Thanks for introducing yourself. So where are you from and where are you now, if you don't mind me asking?
Absolutely. So I am originally from New York City, born and raised,
Yeah.
and that's really where my foundation was built. New York teach me how to be resilient. It hustled and how to figure out things when, I really didn't have all the resources. It also forced me to grow up fast and think fast on my feet. Now I am based out in Oklahoma City, and that transition helped me evolve in a different way.
Mm.
It gave me the space to slow down and think more strategically and actually build something long term instead of surviving like how I was back in the big city, the Big Apple. But now I feel like I carry both the hustle from New York City and the discipline and the vision I developed here.
You know what? You are such a smart. You seem like such a smart person. I love how you present yourself. So I just want to know, like, what type of stuff do you do, like, for fun? Like, where'd you get all this energy from?
I'm honestly a creator at heart. So my work and my fun overlap a lot. I love creating, whether that's content, ideas, or building new projects. I enjoy gaming, I enjoy streaming and connecting with people in real time. And at the same time, I learned the importance of resetting mentally. So when you're building at a high level, your mind never shuts off.
Mm.
So I value the moments where I could just be present and recharge. So for me, fun is anything that lets me be creative, free, and aligned with myself.
Okay. So let me ask you a question. So you're a business consultant, you're a model, an author, real estate investor, a magazine publisher, app developer, and also a host, a podcast host. What's the main thing you do? What's your main source of income?
Yeah, so the main thing that I do is build and I scale digital businesses under my brand Nova Multiverse. And it's not just one business, it's really an ecosystem, right? I focus on content creation, business coaching, digital marketing, and I'm also developing tech-based projects like apps and games. So everything that I do is centered around one core idea, helping people realize that they can build their own platforms instead of depending on just one source of income.
That's very interesting. So you're an app developer too. Do you actually code or do you use AI to code?
Both. Both. I actually know how to code, and I also use AI to code as well, especially when I run into errors.
Okay, okay. So Nova Multiverse. Where did you get the name from? Why multiverse? Why Nova? That's what I want to know.
So Nova Multiverse actually came along after three other failed businesses. So and I wouldn't really say it was failed. No, they failed, but I learned a lot of lessons throughout the way. And Nova Multiverse, it was like a light bulb that went on in my head, right? It was like, okay, well, I know I want to do this. I know I want to do that. And I just wanted to do something that came up with a name that pretty much would tie everything of what I'm doing into one, right?
Mhm.
So Nova is really unique. It's really what it stands for. It's really outgoing and, built for new adventures and built for things that you want to build. Multiverse is, pretty much I have multiple things going on. So
Yeah. Okay.
What?
So within the multiverse, which item in the multiverse is like most lucrative within your
So
universe?
Gotcha. So right now I'm in the process of making it my most lucrative. Right now I have multiple income streams, but the goal for Nova Multiverse is to become the main driver through automation, digital products, and scalable systems.
Okay.
I don't want to just make money. I want to build something that continues to generate income whether I'm working or not, right? And that's the difference between working for money and building something that works for you.
Okay, so your focus right now is like automation,
Yes.
right? So what are you doing right now to like automate your business?
Yes. So I use different automation systems I have set in place to help me out with daily tasks that, I can pretty much delegate to AI,
Hmm.
right?
Okay. How difficult is it like is managing like all these different things within the multiverse? I call it the multiverse, but it's cool. It's cool calling it that because it's Nova Multiverse, but so I get to say within the Novaverse, but how difficult is it managing all these things, or is it not difficult at all?
Oh no, I am not going to sugarcoat it. I am not going to sugarcoat it at all. It is challenging, especially when you're doing everything, majority of everything besides the automation side by yourself,
Mm,
right? It's very challenging. There were times where I felt overwhelmed, burnt out, and stretched thin trying to manage everything at once. But I had to learn that everything doesn't deserve my energy, right? And once I started focusing on structure, discipline, and prioritizing what actually produces results, things became more manageable. So
okay.
it's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things.
Okay. So can you walk me through a moment in your life where everything felt uncertain and you were able to rebuild and refocus your vision?
Gotcha. Yes, there was definitely a point in my life where everything felt uncertain. I was trying to balance work, life, family, and still trying to figure out my purpose here, right? I
Mm,
knew I had potential, but I didn't have the clarity or the structure yet at that time. I had to take a step back mentally and really ask myself what I wanted my life to look like. And a little down the line, that moment changed everything. After asking that question, I came back with a different mindset, not just hustling, but building with intention.
mm.
And Nova Multiverse was born from that. The rebuilding phase, as I told you, it was came from after three failed businesses. So it represents growth, resilience, and choosing to create your own path, no matter what you've been through.
Okay, so that was a deeper version, of behind, Nova Multiverse. But what's like a bigger vision, like a broader vision? Like, how do you see it impacting creators and entrepreneurs in the future?
Oh, Nova Multiverse is bigger than a brand, right? It's a movement, honestly. It's a movement that's coming. It's here. It's a movement. It's about helping people build their own ecosystems instead of relying on systems that were never designed for them. I see it expanding into digital tools, education, media platforms, and tech-based projects that help creators and entrepreneurs build income, confidence, and ownership.
Mhm.
The goal, my goal is to show people that they don't have to wait for opportunities. You can create them.
Got you. So how did you really get into this? Was it like was it only just the three failed businesses? But you know, what's your background?
Yes, I've always been a creative person. Since I was a little girl, I've always been creative, but I had to learn that creativity into something sustainable, right? I've gone through ups, I've gone through downs, moments of doubt, moments of stepping away, but every time I came back stronger. So I always say I don't look like what I've been through. But everything I've experienced is shaped me how I move today, truly.
Hmm. Okay, so with all of your trials and your tribulations, would you still do you consider yourself an expert?
Yes. Yes, I absolutely do. I can say that confidently, not from ego, okay, but from experience. I lived this. I've had to figure things out without a blueprint. I've made mistakes, I've pivoted and rebuilt.
Hmm.
Uh, being being this type of expert isn't about like knowing everything. It's about more having the discipline to keep going and turning lessons into results. And I've done that and continue to do that over and over and over again.
Man, I'm just, we both know the entrepreneurship is so tough, you know.
It is.
I feel like quitting all the time. But what would you say was your biggest struggle or your biggest lesson that you learned in entrepreneurship?
Um, my biggest struggle in entrepreneurship, there were multiple biggest struggles in it. Um, Such as when I started out, where I was from, I wasn't really brought up with a lot of structure and discipline. My background didn't include that, right? I had to learn to become that. And because I lacked those qualities in me when I was younger, it really did stop a lot of things from me,
Hmm.
uh, especially like in my early 20s, my late 20s. And, um, it's really the background. It's really the background. I really had to learn how to really put it all together. Like
You
I can
can't
show
really
you, but
put
I
a
can tell you.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, yeah. So, I just want to know, like, how did you get over that hump? You know what I mean? Like, for me, like, I say that, I kind of surrounded myself around, I joined like communities and things like that. I started like meditating and stuff. Meditation like
Yeah,
helps. It
yeah,
really, of course, I pray and stuff too, but meditating helps so much. But I feel like within your community, choosing which community that you enter, it's like it helps elevate you. You are what your community expects.
yeah,
I use this example, with everybody, but I'm currently in a calisthenics community where we're doing like muscle ups and push ups and stuff like that. Every time I go there, we meet every Saturday. And every time I go, I have a challenge that I was supposed to complete. Like right now, my challenge is 50 push-ups, 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups. Every time I go, they're like, where you at? You know what I mean? So you are what your community expects you to be?
yeah. I definitely agree with you with that one. I definitely do. There's a couple of things that help me, I guess, get over that hurdle and continue to get me over that hurdle. I'm very in tune with my Bible. I'm a very spiritual person. I'm not really religious, but I am very God-fearing, and I keep the Lord in my daily uh, routine.
Yes.
And meditation, like you said, definitely helps. It helps tremendously.
Mhm.
And really taking myself out of environment, that environment that no longer served me, like making the jump from New York all the way out to, down here is like,
That's
I
what
had
visionaries
to,
do. That's what we
yeah,
do. We leave and we go somewhere else, get ourselves out of the environment to elevate ourselves. Like that's how I knew. Like I looked at your profile, I was like, oh yeah, she's a real entrepreneur, you know?
yes. A legacy in the making, as I like to say
All
it.
right. So let me ask you a question. Do you have like a some kind of accountability partner or anything like that?
Accountability partner. I hold myself accountable. I hold myself accountable. I do. I hold myself accountable with everything of what I do.
Okay.
Um,
Are you in
yeah.
any communities?
I am. I am a part of a lot of different communities. I'm a part of domestic violence survival communities. I am a part of cancer communities, a ton of gaming communities, communities out here based out in Oklahoma City, where, I was able to get myself known out here to a certain degree. And yeah, it really served me a lot of good things. And I'm also a part of NLS, my school's Illuminati honor roll society. So they also are really great help in finding me opportunities to like speak or just be in certain rooms that I wouldn't really be invited to if I wasn't a part of that
Wow.
community.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. I'm glad you have a community that could help you speak in front of people that you would never be able to find on your own. That's super dope. But I heard you say a lot of stuff about gaming. What game do you play? What game? I don't game anymore, but I want to know just for your followers and stuff.
Yes. So I play a different kind of games. So I play anywhere from indie games. I play anywhere from creative games, adventure games. That's where the ideas really started from, truthfully. Like my number one game growing up was The Sims. I don't play it that much anymore. I haven't played it in a couple years actually. But part of my games ideas, it doesn't how you say it doesn't it's not like Sims, but it's like Sims because you get to like customize your character, you get to customize like your environments and stuff like that. I really like that part about it. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah. The Sims is like a creator's game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. So, back to business real quick. What do you say is your worst business skill? Like, what business skills do you lack and need help with, you know?
So I would say that my biggest challenge has been balancing everything without losing myself. So I feel like when you have a big vision, it's easy to overextend yourself.
Mhm.
Um,
Well,
there were times.
when I say business skill, I kind of mean like, marketing or development or operations or branding or something like sales or something like that. What's one of those like business skills you say you like? If you could hire somebody, you know what I mean? That's kind of the question.
So if I can hire somebody, honestly, I need everyone under the book, truly, right? But my thing is I like to learn everything on my own before I even get anybody else involved because I want to know how everything works myself.
Better question, better question. What's the one thing that you wish you can delegate today?
Oh, I would definitely say my time. My time because my time is like eaten up, every single hour of the day is
Well,
just
that's
eaten up.
that's what I mean. Like as far as
Yeah.
get your time back, which one of your tasks is taking the most of your time? There we go. That was a better way of asking.
Uh, so I would say, hmm, what is my most delicate task that I want to delegate?
For
There's
me,
most.
for me, it's like the social media, the editing, the video editing, the scheduling the social media posts, extracting the audio and uploading all of the files, and that.
I would say, I guess if I had like a personal stylist, like that does makeup and stuff.
Okay. All
I
right.
guess that
That's
that would
good.
really be that would like in-house, instead of me having to go outside and do all of that,
Yeah.
um, and travel and all of that to
I
take
thought
care of
about
that.
this recently. I thought about using one of those apps that just send you a packaged outfit.
Oh, yes. You
And
know what? I've been thinking about that too. I
yeah,
have. I've been thinking about that. And I keep saying, I should check that out.
yeah, I keep.
I,
I think I'm gonna actually try it because I went shopping today. And I'm like, dude, this stuff takes up my time. I don't feel
it
like.
does. It
Yeah,
does. It literally took
yeah,
up like almost my whole day, like on my whole morning.
yeah. So do you also work like a 9 to 5?
I do. Well, it's not really a 9 to 5, but it sort of is kind of a 9 to 5. I do work in real estate, and besides being a real estate investor, I do also work as a real estate sales associate.
Okay.
So that's my 9 to 5.
Okay. So, you work in a 9 to 5. Have you ever, got so exhausted to the point that you like lost the motivation to like work on your business?
Oh, yes. Yes. I've had to take frequent breaks, especially from social media. For instance, I just came back to social media from August of 2025 of last year, because I've been so in tune with not only my different projects, but with work. And it's a lot. It's a lot that I had going on. And yeah,
So, what kept you like, accountable, like when you lost motivation with your business and stuff? Because I know you get those times where you just get broken down. What keeps you going? Is it like, your mom or nephew or, your husband or whatever, kids? What is it? What keeps you motivated?
truly, it is my two boys. It is definitely my two boys. In my future, the life I see for myself, is definitely too big for me to give up on. And, them alone, I want them to be able to have and experience everything that I wasn't given. I want them to learn the different struggles that this path has taken me, and for them to see how much hard work that went into all of this, and for them to really look at it and say, okay, well, mommy was a superstar. Mommy did X, Y, and Z. She never put herself in a box. She didn't, um, you know, set herself up for only just one thing to do. She really went after everything what she wanted. And that's what I want my kids to do. And not only my kids, but also, my supporters, my clients. I want people to follow their dreams. I want people to go above and beyond. Don't put yourself into a box. Um, so yeah, that will be that will be it. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Are you into like investing at all? Do you, okay, how do you invest? You do like Robinhood or what do you,
I invest multiple ways. Definitely
okay.
invest multiple ways. I also invest in heavily into Bitcoin. Um, Also into, like I said, I'm into real estate. So not only do I invest, but I also do real estate. So I invest into real estate as well. Different projects that's upcoming, such as like apartment complexes, college campuses, school dorms, and whatnot, across the country of what they have coming up. So I'll just put, a decent percentage of lucrative money inside of those, and I'll make that money back over time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I really,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, I was asking because you brought up your kids and their future and stuff like that. And I don't have any kids yet, but I hear about people who are preparing like investment accounts for their kids and stuff.
yes,
Just was wondering if you were into that type of stuff. How did
yes.
you plan, that type of stuff? Yeah,
Stocks,
yeah,
Bitcoin.
right.
Yeah, that,
Okay, okay, that's dope. So I do have a question though. Have you ever like, questioned like your purpose as a coach or entrepreneur?
no, no. When I used to, when things wasn't, when I first started out, when things weren't going my way and I kept getting failure after failure, I used to. But like I said, as I'm in my Bible and talking to God and really walking that path, you get messages. You get messages, and God speaks to you in many different ways. And He spoke to me in many different ways. And No, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, and everything that's coming forth in the future is exactly what is supposed to be happening. So yeah,
Yeah, you manifested this. This is what you
I
wanted. This is
did.
what you go for. Just what you think about, and as long as you keep your mind sharp, then you good. You know what I
I
mean?
did.
Yeah.
I did.
But what do you do to keep your mind sharp? Do you have any like daily daily routines or anything like that you do?
Yes, I stay structured, planning, executing, and focusing on income producing activities. Consistency.
Okay.
I preach about consistency. Consistency is what creates the results.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think I saw that was in your last post. You talked about consistency,
Mhm.
right? And I get praise on my consistency because I post every day. I'm currently in the process. My last assistant got pregnant, so I had to find another one. So I'm in the process of training someone new for my social media posts and stuff like that. But I did it and do it myself until I get someone else. So I get a lot of praise on my consistency. So you're right on that. Consistency is key.
Yes.
Yeah. So outside of consistency, what else did you say is key that goes along with consistency?
Patience. A lot of patience. A lot of patience and a lot of discipline. It will take you a long way.
That was no, that was beautiful. That was no, you said it, you was right. Um, no, that was the perfect answer for that. So good. I have one more question. Well, not one more. I got a couple more. Do you use what AI tools do you use? That's what I want to know.
So I do use Copilot. I use a different amount. Use a whole lot, honestly.
What helped take your business to the next level the best, the fastest? What's that one that you would recommend that you think people don't know about?
Well, actually, people do know about it, but it's a lot of controversy around it right now, and it was ChatGPT.
Okay.
It was ChatGPT before everything crashed and burned with the economy. But ChatGPT is really what gave me my push a couple years back with the business, and it really put everything into place to me. It told me, the different type of platforms to use, the different type of CRM, like Salesforce, Zoom. I use Copilot. Like I use a decent amount of AI tools to help me delegate some tasks that I don't have to do manually anymore.
Right. So
Yeah.
what does a successful year look like for you in the Nova multiverse?
Ooh, freedom. I would say freedom, time freedom, financial freedom, full control over my life. Um, yeah, that's really how I would base it on. There's really no timeline because, we always that's something that we all as humans, we always lack in. Like we all be like, oh, well, we set our expectations high, a little too high sometimes. And it's good to be delusional sometimes, but it's also good to be realistic. So, like, for instance, like I wanted to add on an additional um, thing to my business. Like I wanted to start my nonprofit December of last year, but with everything that I had going on, realistically, it wasn't possible. Um, and it didn't get done. It didn't get done at that time. So I did have to wait, a little bit of time to get that done. So everything doesn't go on our timeline. It really goes on God's timeline. And when He says it's ready.
Got you. Um, so with that being said, do you have anything new coming out with your business that we should be on the lookout for? Do you have like any like new, the chorus, new, anything new that you do you have coming out this year?
Yes, 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 yes. It has been over a year. I have been building this game, my apps, my game Novaverse Builder. digital platforms and expanding Nova Multiverse into a full ecosystem. But yeah, it's really my games that I am launching out. Novaverse Builder. And I also am planning on doing another one right after I'm finished with that one because we're almost done with that one and we're going to push it out to production. But that one I will be talking about a little later because, this one took a little while to do. So that one could like kind of wait for the
Okay.
moment.
No,
But this one is really about like city building and the ecosystem and currently what's going on right now is really based on what's going on right now as far as like the market system, the ecosystem, and just in a digital world, right? And it's also other stuff around it. But the next one is also Crownfall Legends, and that one is more so of a RPG game.
okay.
The world will be getting that pretty soon, right after Novaverse Builder. But yeah, besides that, it will be my digital platforms that I'm building. Um, you asked me earlier about different AI tools that I'm also using as well. I highly suggest, like, if you're a person that wants to build apps and, just wants to put things out in the world for other people to really expand on and really, like, actually, how you say, can
And elevate.
not only elevate, but that can actually that they can actually use it. I would recommend Rourke and Base 44.
Okay,
Those
I heard of base 44. How do you spell that first one?
Rourke is R as in Romeo, R as in Romeo, O as in octopus, R as in Romeo, K as in kite.
Rourke.
Yeah, it's weird.
RORK. I'll check that out for sure. Um,
Yeah, it's definitely. But those two apps, those were really besides Copilot and the Salesforce and everything else that I want to use. Those two really helped me build like more digital platforms and more digital apps for um, everyone.
okay. Before I get to the last question, we got 5 minutes left on this podcast, and I want to know, was there anything that you did not get a chance to share? Any question I didn't ask? Any something good, great about yourself? Is there anything else that I didn't give you the opportunity to share that you would love to?
I know. Honestly, I think that you asked all of the questions, really great questions for the world to actually kind of get to know me a little bit more. Because even though like I do a ton of stuff, I'm not really a open person, like people will still be like, well, we don't know what you do. Like, what exactly do you do? Like, we know you do this, you do that. But
Right.
like, like what is your background? They have all kind of questions for me, so and I really appreciate the opportunity and this has been amazing. But no, you answered all of my questions that I would possibly ask, somebody else if I was in, if the seats were reversed. So yeah, no, you did great. You
I
did great.
appreciate you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Well, with that being said, let everybody know where they can find you. Please share all your socials, your website, email if you want to share that. Share everything. Let people know how to find you.
Gotcha. So you guys could definitely find me on Instagram at Nova Slay Vibes, and my website is www.novamultiverse.com. Once you go to my main page, you'll be able to kind of navigate through my other pages because I have a ton of pages. Project Slay Radio, BGM, which is Badasi Global Network, um, Nova Multiverse. That's the business, Instagram. So you guys go follow me on there. And yeah, that's it. Thank you guys so much for having me. It's been a joy.
All right, yeah, for sure, Crystal. Well, it was an honor. I respect everything you do, and thank you so much for joining. To everyone else, that is a wrap for today's episode of Founder Fumbles. Huge thanks to Crystal for joining us today, sharing her journey with us, the highs, the lows, everything in between. If her story inspired you in any way, shape, or form, please check out her on her socials. Check out her website at novamultiverse.com. And please do not forget to like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.